Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, people on YouTube, and welcome back to William in Japan. Today you join me on the beautiful Thruxton right around Lake Sagami. We are going to head towards another lake, Lake Miyagase, through the mountains around the western Tokyo and western Kanagawa region. We've taken this route before on this Ducati Supersport, but back then it was really wet and after a typhoon. So nice hot sunny day today. Let's hit the road. Alright folks, most people when they hear about Tokyo will always have the image of a huge metropolis. Not much of nature and skyscrapers everywhere. But if you had the chance to have a look on the map, Tokyo is actually a very big municipal area. And on the west side, there are little villages, little townships just like this. Over here, basically in the mountains, close to the Kanto area, is where a lot of our water came from. And thanks to that, of course, there will be some dams, which in the end created these man-made lakes. Usually, people come here for camping, but naturally, since this is in the mountains, it's also a great playground for motorcycle enthusiasts just like us. Especially Lake Miyagase. It has become somewhat of a rendezvous point for a lot of riders when they have basically no idea where they should go. It is a no-brainer if you head that way anytime, even in the night. Yes, it's a bit dark, but roads will still be safe enough if you're cautious. And you also kind of get to spread your motorcycle's leg right outside the cities and the crowded roads of Tokyo. And that was a huge hole in the ground. Depending on anyone riding on these kind of roads, some may like it, some don't. But this is a very typical Toge Michi, or a mountain pass road inside Japan. No center line, not that well maintained. Some are worse. This is more on the better maintained side. Look at this pavement, it's actually pretty flat. But lots of debris due to less traffic and all the foliage. Although some may want to be a bit more spirited in their rides, I strongly recommend against that, because this is not a single direction road. You will run into traffic just like what we just had, and some drivers will basically take up the whole road without decreasing their speed and run over you. These are all blind corners, so especially for Japanese riders as a whole, people tend to take a slower pace. You never know, there may be a monkey, sometimes even what's that name in English? In Japanese it's called tanuki. It's not a raccoon, but the proper English vocabulary is not popping into my head. But somewhat of a raccoon-like animals you will meet from time to time. But mostly it's almost always monkeys. But if the roads open up just like that, Of course, you can pick up your pace. Enjoy a bit more of the excitement of running on such a great machine like the Thruxton. So Route 517 really isn't anything special. It's just one of the connecting roads between Lake Sagami and Lake Miyagase. And personally, I like it because there is just a little less traffic. And it connects to the great 518. It will become a bit tighter right after this, but in its beginning, again, pretty well maintained. It is a double lane road, so you can enjoy the fun here too. But a bit of courtesy when we're going through neighborhoods like this. Although there are less and less children, but there is always the chance for little kids to run across the road without looking out properly. Slowing down always helps. I think I mentioned this multiple times before. Japan has been struggling with a very low birth rate the past 20 years to 30 years already, or even more, 40, thinking about it. Over 25% of the population is over 65 years old. So when you're in these kind of little townships or even little villages, you will only meet old people or even no people. It is a very warm day today. Pretty odd for mid-June temperature. We are supposed to still be in the raining season, but somehow, same as last year, we didn't get a lot of rain, and the humidity and the heat just piled on during the rain season. We're expecting one of the hottest days in June for a very long time in history. Gonna hit 35 tomorrow, so I might as well take the bike out today and somewhat enjoy the roads before it gets too hot. Even though there are usually little traffic, but locals still do use this road, so do be patient. Some locals will let you through, some won't. We'll see. But remember, when there is a yellow line in the middle, it means no overtaking. At least no overtaking in the other lane. You can try it in the same lane. That will not break the law. However, with so narrow lanes in Japan, it's almost impossible to keep a safety distance if you go according to the law, which is 1 meter, I think. So yeah, it's very hard to overtake people in these kind of situations. Let's see if we have the chance to overtake, but definitely not somewhere as small and twisty and narrow like this, especially when there's so much debris on the ground. I do remember it opens up in a bit, so we might have a chance to overtake, but we will be patient and safe. Thank you, miss, and there we go. Yeah, and this is the place where I remember it opens up. It does have dotted white lines, which means it is good to overtake. Thanks to that good local, we are ever allowed to pass without much of a hassle. during the weekends though. As I mentioned, Ihara and Lake Sagami, Lake Miyagase, these places are pretty easy places to get to for just a weekend trip with the family. So you will meet a lot of traffic on the major roads, sometimes even on this road. Even though as small as it is, it does have less traffic, as I mentioned, but during the weekends it still may be crowded. We're here on a Monday, took the day off. Roads are way more open. We almost have it all to ourselves. It's a bit more dirty than I expected. Usually this time of year, because there's not that much rain yet before the typhoon season, it's pretty much cleaned up. But the spring rain season did wash up some dirt and some branches and leaves onto the road. Always be a bit more on the brakes than the throttle. Oh, that was a very long curve. I love that. That was fun. The Thruxton, especially with this nose fairing, it has a new subframe under there too. Really does feel a bit heavy. Maybe it's because of the spoke rims as well. I believe they should be way heavier than the forged ones in my other bikes. So you do feel the mass or the momentum when we're going through turns compared with my Street Triple or the 748R we just said goodbye to. There's definitely a difference in riding these bikes. But on the other hand, the Thruxton, this engine gives you all the torque when it's around 4,000 RPM. Oh god, it just is a different animal. Alrighty, that is the end of Route 518, guys. Now we're on 413 and then turning to 64. So these are all the little roads that connects between the two lakes, and you can see quite a lot of motorcycle enthusiasts just like us enjoying it. Getting a bit narrow again. Nothing we can't handle. Oh, it opens up here. Yeah, I remember this part. It'll be a bit more easier to ride, but I do remember there are bumps a bit later down the road. Or is it the one we just went through early on, Route 518? Don't know. Might be mistaken. Alright, I'll be a bit more careful here. Looks like we're getting a lot more traffic. And is that a garbage truck? No, that's a propane truck. Okay. They'll have to find a chance to overtake that as well. And looks like it should be here. Perfect timing. riding these roads. I don't understand why you will need a leader bike. And you're sitting on a 1200cc Ozo Neo Retro bike saying that. Well, I guess the fun is there then. Of course, a leader bike is way more, and I mean way more faster and more powerful, but you get where I'm going. That's why I love super sport bikes, or if I may put it, medium capacity bikes around 120, 130 horsepower. Yeah, it is way than enough for myself. Okay, Miyagase is now on the street signs. We are almost there. Here we go. Our 4 kilometers, and we should be at our destination. Right, this is actually a school. I should have slowed down there, my bad. Almost all the convenience stores here have bicycle stands too. This shows how much cyclists enjoy the same roads as we do. That's a CRF 250 rally, not 300. In Japan it is a 250. Pretty popular bike here as well, like a mini adventure bike. And okay, we are here at our destination, guys. The Tori Ihara parking lot, right at Lake Miyagase. Should be pretty vacant today. Usually it's packed with motorcycles. I don't expect that since it is a Monday. So we can get the first class spot, parking spot, I think. That's an ape. 125cc mini bike. And oh, it's actually pretty crowded. Wow, guys. So yeah, this is Lake Miyagase, guys. This has been William. Thanks for joining me. And of course, the beautiful Thruxton. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.